5,000 years ago, the marshes in front of Ur's harbor were home to over 4,000 inhabitants. Fishermen and farmers. A whole people lived here, conquering an immense territory meter by meter on frail reed skiffs. Thanks to satellite photos of Iraq's relief, we can now reconstruct the map of this part of the world 5,000 years ago. Nippur, Uruk, and Gursu, the main city of Sumerian civilization, were established in a totally different landscape. At that time, the confluence of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers was located further north. As they crossed Mesopotamia, the two rivers became one. The first rays of sunlight brush against the city of Ur. It's summer and the heat will once again be overwhelming. The city is slowly waking up. The inhabitants have slept on the terraces, which are much cooler than the small rooms in their homes. The texts summarizing the real estate purchases revealed that the surface area of the houses did not exceed 70 square meters. Very early on, a motley crowd invades the alleyways. People jostle each other, greeting each other brightly. Merchants call out to passers-by. The city's commercial activity is intense. In the courtyards of some of the houses, men relax with straw beer. Several writings bear witness to the temperament of the Sumerians. The extraordinary precariousness of their situation, subject to the vagaries of nature, made them aware of the ephemeral and fragile nature of existence. In the streets, the inhabitants of Ur wear konakis, a sheepskin tunic. Depending on the season or fashion, the bottom of the garment is rolled up over the thighs or down to the knees or ankles. Notables' wives wear lighter, shimmering colored sheets. Both men and women wore jewelry, earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. Archaeological digs have revealed the presence within the city walls of counterfeiters imitating gold and turquoise to perfection. The less fortunate inhabitants were thus able to adorn themselves with costume jewelry. All these people were merchants, shopkeepers, and traders. On the outskirts of the temple were the houses of scribes, masons, and carpenters, and the slums of the slaves. For archaeologists, the treasure unearthed in Ur is of inestimable scientific value. It tells us about Sumerian customs and testifies to the quality of the city's craftsmen. Sumerian goldsmiths mastered the techniques of chasing and soldering gold. This harp, with its bull's head gazing into eternity through lapis lazuli eyes, was adorned with a mosaic of shells and precious stones. For their last journey in the company of their sovereign, the maids wore a spectacular diadem of gold ribbons and colored stones. A braid of beech leaves covered their foreheads. Attached to the back of the head, an ornament of 3 golden flowers rose above the face. The gold used for crockery and weapons for parades silver, lapis lazuli or turquoise came from eastern regions. Mother of pearl and shells came from the Bahrain Islands. The raw materials used to fashion this upright buckle reveal Ur's astonishing prosperity. They reflect the vitality of their trade. Archaeologists have tracked down some of these materials. To obtain lapis lazuli, the Sumerians organized caravans that traveled over 3,000 kilometers to reach the mountains of Badakhshan in northern Pakistan. Thanks to the work of the English Orientalist George Smith, some stories of devastating floods have come down to us.
Enlil, the supreme god, was displeased with human misbehavior and decided to engulf them in a mighty flood, despite the pleas of Enki, god protector of mankind. Unable to protect humanity, Enki decided to preserve a trace of mankind in the person of Ziusudra, whom he asked to build an ark on which to embark pairs of animals. After 6 days and 6 nights of storms, the world was submerged. At dawn on the 7th day, the storm receded. Ziusudra released a dove which, unable to land, returned to him. On the 8th day, he released a raven, which never returned. Humanity was saved.
Prayer was part of the daily life of the people of Sumer. The upkeep and running of the temples required a large staff. Every day the faithful brought their offerings. The Uruk archives describe the daily menu of the city's 4 main gods: 250 loaves of bread, 1,000 tarts, 50 sheep, 8 lambs, 2 oxen, and a calf. Heavenly food which, after being presented to the deities, fed the priests and temple staff. 1,200 people in all. The scribes have passed on to us the hopes of the people of Sumer. In exchange for their fervor, the virtues they nurtured, their dignity and respect for the established order, the Sumerians aspired to eternal life in the afterlife. The incessant struggle to tame nature reminded them of the fragility of earthly existence and inspired their most beautiful legends. The Sumerians' vision was prophetic. After 3,000 years of rule over Mesopotamia, their civilization, under attack from all sides, would collapse without a hitch. The splendor of the cities and their influence on the surrounding countryside were over. Irrigation canals gradually dried up, house walls crumbled, and the temples themselves succumbed to the combined assaults of sun, rain, and wind. The clay of the bricks returned to the earth, leaving nothing above the dunes but shapeless masses, the last vestiges of the grandeur of an entire people.